It's the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast with Alex Trataros, John Meleka, and Ricey on the beat. Let's go.
What's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here with another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. And with me, as always, my buddy, my co-host, pal, the man, the plan, the one and only, John Meleka. And with us, as always, is video producer Greg, the Rock, the Foundation himself. Gentlemen, we are here with being in a weird place where there could be an 8th seed because of the events that happened on Monday night. So let's just start off with that for Damar Hamlin. It's great to hear that he's awake, that he is, doing well, that he's progressing in the right direction. Shout out to the Cincinnati hospital that's taking care of him right now. Shout out to everyone who's been by his side. Prayers up for him and his family, that hopefully he continues to just recover at a good rate, that he's able to go back to the life that he had prior to that injury, because Monday night, man, that was a scary incident. You have the TV on, you see him make a routine tackle. He goes down, and it was scary that he gets back up and then he faints. And they were performing CPR on him for 9 minutes. They had to rush the ambulance out there. You had Denny Kellington, who was the Bills athletic trainer, who was performing CPR. Shout out to him for knowing what to do in that moment. He is a key factor for why Hamlin is progressing the way that he is. But nothing but prayers for that man and his family and his friends and everyone around him, because football is a dangerous sport. At the end of the day, we're all human. It's humans playing a vicious sport where essentially it's everyone out there to kill each other. I mean, there's so many references to war when you go out there to play football. And when you watch somebody go down like that, there's nothing that you think about but more than them recovering, because that, like I said, at the end of the day, we're all human. We all just want the best for each other. We should want the best for each other. There's some psychos out there, but we should want the best for each other. And I'm just glad that he's healing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, side note, those psychos are in Minnesota and they're cheering and doing skull chants when Q Will is hurt. That's for another day. Monday night was crazy. Thank God we're here now. Shout out to Damar Hamlin. He's a man. But shout out to, he's a football guy, bro. You talk about hopefully he comes back. He's asking who won the game. Dude is a man. He's not only the lights home like they mentioned, but he knows everything that's going on, which is cool. So he's good to go. The Bills are good to go. They're giving thumbs up everywhere today. The same people we saw crying, Josh Allen, Trey White, they're giving thumbs up. They're ready to play for 3. So here we are, bro. And I mean, talk about shout out to Damar Hamlin and the people that came together, right? Everyone was cool. The Bengals were cool. Sean McDermott is one of my favorite coaches forever now. Honestly, the Bengals are cool for being told, in my, I guess, conspiracy, you want to call it, that they have to start playing. And they're like, all right, I guess we just have to start, warming up. And they just started warming up. And then Zach Taylor went to go see what McDermott thought. And then he just listened to whatever they wanted. And now Burrow today talking about, we're just going to do whatever the Bills want. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? They just do what they're told in the NFL. Then they just do whatever the Bills want. Like the Bengals handle it perfectly. The Bills handle it perfectly. Everybody handled it as well as possible. I agree that it was the safest place on earth besides a hospital is a football field, which is crazy to think about when it comes to medical services. So it is cool. But if Damar Hamlin gives us the almighty 8th seed, I mean, what a week in football. Went from that crazy, awful, terrible game for the New York Jets to the crazy, terrible, awful, horrific tragedy that happened on Monday night, where I felt like the whole world stopped to watch that game. Ended up he did well, and now just the fallout. I don't think it's insensitive to say like everybody had their fantasy championships, like everyone had stuff on the game, like the fallout from that. Now the fallout from the NFL. Now that Hamlin is good, I think it's kosher to talk about and to think about. And here we are, man. It's what a world. What a world that we're in. He's got $7 million now. He's gonna fully recover. Everybody's doing good. Like it's just everybody's happy. It's such a positive situation to see everybody come together. Everybody's good. Life is amazing, and everyone's benefiting too. Which is it's just funny how things work out.
No, it really is, and like you guys said, I mean, I don't know if there's much more for me to say. 'Cause I think you guys both said so well. We're happy Damar Hamlin's healthy and moving in the right direction. That's the most important thing. Second comes football and sports and entertainment, and that's what we're here to do and talk about for the next 40 minutes or whatever it is. So, happy that he's okay. Happy that the Bills seem to be like they're ready to go and get back to playing football, because I don't think anyone should have to play football. It's crazy. There was the whole 5-minute warm-up thing going around the NFL
Should
or
not have
TV,
happened.
ESPN. I mean,
It's just up to the Bills. Like whatever the Bills want to do, like that's what we should.
Yeah.
Everyone's down for. If the Bills don't want to play that game, then we're
Cool.
not playing that game. If the
Yeah.
Bills are hyped to play this game, let's play this game. You know
And
what I
I-
mean? Like
and I-
it's them. We try to all insert ourselves into situations. We try to make ourselves the most important part of every story. Like it's about the Bills. Like you think you're traumatized sitting in my room watching the game? No. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're crying because we see Josh Allen crying. So whatever Josh Allen wants to do, then that's what we're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it started out a little funky for the NFL, because whether it was them or someone else that said the 5-minute thing, to them coming out and just saying like the game's not going to be played, I think that's the right move. Like to your point too, like it's what the Bills want to do. The Bills don't want to play because they just saw what they just saw. Completely fine. We can't really figure it out moving forward. Completely fine. We may have to add an A seed in here. Completely fine. The Jets may or may not get it. Completely fine. Like, it is what it is. None of this is important compared to Damar Hamlin, so I'm happy he's okay. Also happy there's a shot that we might make it in here if a couple things go our way.
Yeah, and just to clarify, Damar Hamlin, he's still progressing. The recovery process is still going on. He was only able to write the note today. He didn't speak from what was reported. He only wrote a note asking if they won. So we're still waiting to see.
Well, you
what
can't
the other
speak with a
updates
breathing
are.
tube down your throat. They're weaning him off. From everything I've heard, I mean, everybody is now a doctor, but I'm speaking to actual doctors. I mean, this is just routine at this point. The fact that he's responsive
progressed.
and
He-
he knew
he's
what's going on. I mean,
The doctors are saying he's
everything's great.
progressing.
Yeah,
The doctors are just saying
that's
he's
all you can
progressing.
hope
That's
for.
it. That's all we
Yeah.
know.
That's all you can hope
Um,
for.
Right.
Yeah, that's all we know. So just want to clarify that. But yeah, because of it, now there's this little position of maybe an 8th seed coming around. But unfortunately, with the 8th seed, that may or may not happen. We would need a quarterback in order to kind of make that thing possible. And we do not have one Mike White.
Well,
'cause
he's
of the
limited.
injury.
He's limited. He went from a full practice to a limited practice, which is extremely concerning, especially on the day that's announced that an 8 seed is possible, like even 1% chance. So just 0% chance yesterday. I mean, talk about bad timing, guys. Coach Salah yesterday talking about how Zach Wilson needs to go to the beach and read a book. And then today we have a chance of getting into the playoffs possibly. And then Mike White gets hurt again. I mean, just horrible managing, honestly, from the Jets standpoint. I think Mike White's going to play regardless. But I think if he looks bad like he did last week, I think they're going to put Flacco in. And I think regardless, I think Streveler's going to actually play. It's going to be an interesting game. It's against Skylar Thompson / Mike Glennon. So at the end of the day, I feel like it's only fair that we have, that string of White, Flacco, Streveler. Like, I think that's fair to match them. We beat the Dolphins. We scored 40 points with them, with Zach Wilson. Granted, it was Breece Hall and AVT. But Skylar Thompson's not going to do anything against us. Both teams stink right now. But yeah, both teams have a chance at the playoffs. I can't believe it. Like, obviously, I don't believe it for the Jets yet. I can't believe the Dolphins have a legit chance at the playoffs. So I'd like to play spoiler for them regardless. But I know Greg has some thoughts about the draft pick. And I know like Greg has some thoughts about Flacco starting. What do you think is going to happen at quarterback here, man?
Yeah, I mean, we all talked about it after we saw Flacco last. So we hope we never see him in a Jets uniform on a football field again. So, I mean, I like Mike White. I like Streveler. I don't know what the point is of playing Joe Flacco. I don't think he gives you a chance to win the football game. I don't think he's like clearly better than Streveler. I think Streveler showed us a little boost, man. When he came in, the ball was moving down the field. He was getting the guys going. Didn't result in any points, but that's been the Jets' problem all season. It's not a him thing. It's a us thing. And, dude, I would love to beat the Dolphins. I would love to go 3-3 against our AFC opponents. I would love to beat the Dolphins twice. I would love to spoil their season and keep them out of the playoffs. I would love to end the season on a win because, to your point, it has not been good for either of our teams, the Dolphins or the Jets, the last 6-7 weeks or whatever it is. So there's a lot to play for. There's a lot to get excited for here. And hopefully Mike White looks better than they did against Seattle. I mean, Seattle was just a bad game. Hopefully it's not a trend, but
We've had so many just bad games, Greg.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So
how many just bad games could one take in one season?
Well, apparently, hopefully not. Hopefully not.
If you're a Jets
more.
fan, you could take on a lot. All right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Alex?
Man, I just hope Mike White's ready to go.
Wrap that man up in Kevlar.
Make sure, give that man the bionic arm if you need to go out there and perform. Give him some metal ribs. Do whatever you need to do because we got to watch Flacco or Noodle Arm Streveler.
Come on.
What do you mean, come on? We saw those throws, man.
Come on.
What do you mean, come on? We saw those throws,
Yeah,
man.
no, he can't throw the football, but you don't have to
Okay.
kick. I mean, come on, you don't have to kick the four-string quarterback when he's down. I mean, he can't throw a football.
Come on, man. It's like, we're not getting Chad Pennington out here with like accuracy
Listen.
with 10 to 15 yards.
Yeah, we get some legs, though.
Just let Mike White be the starting quarterback, please. For the love of God, I would like to just go 3-3 in the division. I don't want to see Joe Flacco go out there. Although if that's the case, just give me Zach Wilson, man. I'd rather.
Dude,
watch
he's on the beach reading a book.
Just give me some.
You can't play
athleticism
him
back
after
there.
the coach says that 3 days ago. You legitimately can't. You cannot.
That'd be a wild move by Salah.
You cannot do that,
It'd be a
dude.
wild move.
I get that. I'm not like I'm asking for it, but make sure Mike White is out there to at least have a chance.
Yeah.
Can we have a chance? Because anything outside of Mike White, we don't really have a chance. Maybe Streveler gives you like a little bit of pop here and there, but if you have Flacco, just mix in Streveler, man. Just make sure he gets to do
Mix
the
in
Tyson
Streveler
Hill.
regardless.
Make sure that we get to see like vintage 49ers with Harbaugh out there where they use Colin Kaepernick and Alex Smith. Let's get some of that type of action in there. You know what I mean? Like, granted,
Not
Flacco
really.
doesn't have the wheels like Alex Smith, but can we just get some competent quarterback play with like some gadgetry in there? Where's Brad Smith when you need him?
You know, it's so funny. I literally mentioned that to my brother today on the phone. And he goes, "No way he's on the Jets." So I started laughing. I was like, "No." Speaking of the offense, Zonovan Knight starting, Ty Johnson getting second, and Michael Carter getting benched, man. Do you think this offense is enough to pull together, regardless of the quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's enough. I mean, Michael Carter, you could look at it 2 ways. You can see it's one, Zonovan Knight's been playing well, right? He's able to run between the tackles better. 2, you might want to save Michael Carter for the offseason and not risk him getting injured, depending on how you're thinking about this final game of the season. So just give Bam Knight some more run. Let Ty Johnson get some action in there as well, whoever the quarterback is. So the Jets, depending on what happens with the AC, if they're eliminated, you're just going out there like, all right, we got to play this game, just wrap up the season. No need to injure anybody for something that's in the full grand scheme of things for this season over with. That's how I look at it as.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. If the 8 seed's off the table, if this dream that Mike, first of all, I'm gonna be really pissed on Mike Florio if there is no 8 seed because it's officially his fault that this is in my brain. So it's official. I'm gonna be a hater of Mike Florio from now on. if we don't get the 8th seed. However, if it doesn't happen, as honestly, I don't think it should, if I'm being honest with you, but I want it. And if we don't get it, I want to lose this game. Because here's the thing, man. I don't give a damn how it looks for our offensive staff. I don't give a damn how it looks to our head coach. I don't give a damn how it looks for our GM, to be honest with you. I don't care if we're going to lose season ticket holders because of it. The difference between a top 10 pick, like a number 10, and a number like 16 is crazy. It's crazy, especially in this year's draft. It's just going to take a stupid loss to the Dolphins if there's no 8th seed. I need the loss, man. It would be the dumbest win. We don't have it's not like the quarterback is getting reps. It's not like any of the running backs, like nobody's playing for a starting job. I can't think of one person on either team that's legitimately playing for a starting job next season. I can't think of one.
Yeah.
Maybe Whitehead to try to not get cut, but I think he's either yes or I don't think this game's going to determine. Like I honestly, I don't know who's on like the line. Maybe John Franklin Myers?
I would say
I
some
don't
D
know.
linemen just because we have 9 of them, it feels like.
Yeah, like maybe Sheldon Rankins. He's going to be unrestricted. Like maybe like I don't know. I honestly don't know what else there is to gain and learn from this game. So if there's no 8 seed, if it's as it should be, we better lose this game. If there's an 8 seed, and if there's an 8 seed, we better win this game. Because if we have another chance, and to be clear, not only do the Jets have to win, the Cleveland Browns have to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Jacksonville Jaguars have to beat the Titans on Saturday night. So we'll know going into Sunday if this game matters at all, even if there is an 8 seed, regardless of whether they announce it or not. So if the Titans win, guys, tank this game. Start Strevler. Flacco, see you later. Unless you're inviting your family and they all want to watch you throw a couple more before you go home. You know what I mean? Like that's what I kind of want to see. Berrios, do your thing out there, bro. Like, have fun at it. I really wish we could just see someone else do a punt return or a kick return, but whatever. Like, that's the kind of game I'd want to see.
Yeah, I mean, to your original question about the weapons of Michael Carter kind of being benched, makes me a little concerned. Makes me a little concerned if he's injured or if he's just not playing well. And if he's not playing well and he's not very good at football, it makes me a little concerned about Joe Douglas in his drafting.
Yeah, it does, man.
Makes me a little concerned. You start looking at the draft last year or 2 years
Starting
ago.
to get a trend of people that get cut, offensive linemen that get non-football injury medicals.
Right.
Like, we're starting to rack up some bad quarterbacks. Starting to rack up here.
Right. There's quite a few players, not only just drafting, but in free agency. If you go back, was this Joe Douglas's 3rd year, 4th year, whatever it is, where
nothing's worse than his free agency, bro.
Yeah, when you start looking back at it, you start scratching your head and be like, what's going on? I mean, in this draft class that I'm talking about, Zach Wilson, AVT, Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, Sherwood, Carter, Pinnock, not a lot of people, Eccles, Marshall, Nazardine, like, you're
literally not one of us going to be on this team next year.
Yeah, so, AVT is the only one out of there, and he, of course, had a season-ending injury. You start wondering what's going on in the front office a little bit, but everything seems like it's moving in the right direction every season. That's what's tough about the whole GM thing, is that every season it's like, okay, we did good in the draft. Okay, we did good in free agency. Then when you look back a season or two, it's like, did we do anything? Or are we just building? Are we just building and each season our team's getting better? So the guys that we thought were good 2 seasons ago aren't good anymore because we got better guys this year. One guy I want to shout out, I saw a tweet today, Quan Alexander. Talk about free agency not being so good. Talk about our linebacker position being sucks. He's been good all season. He's been healthy all season. Maybe for the first time in his career.
Literally.
So shout out to him.
And he lost mad weight for the position.
Yeah, and he's playing well. He's hitting, he's playing well. He's a ball hawk. He's trying to get some fumbles out there. So I know he's a little bit older. I know his career hasn't gone the way, people thought early on the way it was going to go. Happy to have him on the team. Happy that he's out here absolutely kicking ass and, taking names. Hopefully he's one of the pieces in our linebacking core next season if he can keep this level of play up because it's needed.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Maybe
this game is like, as of right now, it's like it could either mean something or it doesn't mean anything at all. It's just, to me right now, it's just, I have The season.
It would be crazy if we come back from the dead.
The season was such a roller coaster.
It would be crazy if we come back
emotions.
from the dead. It'd be crazy.
John, my other question is, do you want the people out there, if there is an A seed and there's like a mathematical chance getting us in there, and then we get eliminated again, are you ready for the Jets were eliminated
Alex,
twice in one season?
Tell me about that roller coaster, Alex, and add that in there.
You want that roller coaster?
Tell me.
Or the expectations of, oh, we do the season preview. Oh, if we get 7 wins, improvement from Zach Wilson, that's all we need to see this season. Well, we didn't have Zach Wilson to start because of the preseason. So then we go in there with none other than elite Joe Flacco, right? For 3 games, we get to see elite Joe Flacco win 1 or 2. And it's like, we're going nuts. We're like, get this man out of here. Not us. We're just like, all right, Flacco is whatever. We're going to get Wilson back at some point. Wilson comes back, goes on a 5-1 winning spree. Then he decides to have, what was it? 5-1? 5-2, right?
Yeah, 5-2.
5-2 because it was that Patriots game that really said everything.
That pick 6, dude. That Michael Carter pick 6 at the end. It could have been 17-3, bro. It could have been 17-3 Jets, but the world would have let me have it.
Jets could have won. He could have lost to the Patriots the second time around. No one would have cared if he came out with that statement because guess what? He already beat the Patriots once this year, but nope. Decided to have that terrible outing not once, but twice. Say no, he doesn't take accountability. We get the Mike White season. He balls out Chicago. Oh, season's still on the line. Vikings, Bills destroy that.
Yeah.
We get Wilson to come back. Plummets it even more because that kid is just brutally awful. You get White back, and it's like you see that he's still slightly laboring those ribs. Isn't able to do everything, man. He played poorly too. Like you can't sugarcoat it. And everyone didn't even show up, man. No one showed up for that game. And now we have the chance to go back into. And so we're eliminated. Now we have the chance to go back into the playoffs. So now we have this chance to backdoor our way in.
Full Undertaker.
If I have to get my hopes up because there's going to be an 8th seed and then we're out of it again, that would be the most Jets season of Jets seasons I have ever witnessed. To only have my heart broken not once, but twice by this team, I don't know if I can handle that, man. Literally don't know if I can handle that.
So the latest news is on Friday, the owners are going to be getting together on a video conference. And they're not sure if it's going to be a simple majority or a 24-vote supermajority. And they're going to decide whether or not or what to do with the seating. I'm so hyped right now, guys. It's
I would
actually
pay
live.
so much to be on an all NFL owners Zoom conference just to see them all struggle and try to figure that shit out.
Just go watch South Park.
Yeah.
Someone get the South Park clip.
Dude, this is more money for them. This is 2 more playoff games in their revenue. Yeah. One that they would never be able to get approved otherwise.
True.
Someone give me that South Park clip where you have all the other NFL owners on that video cam. This is essentially what it is.
You know what's so crazy? They have to not only approve it themselves, which is the first step, but then they have to then propose it to the Players Association, and then the Players Association has to like amend their collective bargaining agreement to like allow for this one game based on like COVID emergency rules. I mean, this is nerd heaven, and it could end up with the Jets making the damn playoffs in the most Jetsian way. Dude, I told my dad, I was like, he was like watching the Man City game, and he's been mocking me a little bit because I've been like, casually like, oh, you think I'm gonna go to Kansas City or Buffalo for week 1? Like, just like I've been always like joking around for the wild card. Like, what do you think I'm going? Who do you think's gonna get the first seed? So I can book the hotel. Like that's what I keep like joking around about. And so as soon as the Jets lost and we're playing terribly on Sunday, he just kept asking, like, John, I have news for you. You're not going to Kansas City or Buffalo or Arizona, right? Which is Super Bowl, like, just like to make sure. So today during the Man City game, went down, started talking to him. I was like, yo, Dad, guess what? Hamlin's doing great. So that means the Buffalo's going to play. Week 18 is going to be good to go. But now they have to figure out seeding. One of the choices, adding an 8 seed. He started dying laughing. He's like, I can't believe the Jets going to make the playoffs. He didn't know anything else. It's possible, yo. Listen, I'm injecting myself with hopium. I'm drinking hopium. I am going to shower in hopium. If there's an 8 seed available, I'm gonna Duval Nation till I die Saturday night. Oh my god!
I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm gonna be the number. I'm gonna wear blonde wig. I'm gonna wear blonde wig if there's an 8 seed.
I unfortunately have to go with the pessimistic route right now until I'm proven otherwise in a must-win game. No one got up for it. No one got up for it.
I know. It was embarrassing tape. That's why I think they're gonna do good. We've always after embarrassing tape, we've done well after. And if this is a game where we beat McDaniel and then he joins our offensive staff after, that'd be the most hilarious end to a like villain story ever.
Alex, are you up for Mike McDaniel being the OC next year?
Is this because Mike LaFleur said that Zach Wilson probably deserved to be on a bench his first year?
No, it's just John wants Mike McDaniel as an OC, and I think it's absolutely crazy.
Why? Why would he even give up a head coaching gig?
He's not going to give it up by choice, my man.
Yeah, he's going to get fired. That's the rumor. That's a rumor on the street today, is that he's going to get fired.
Why is he being rumored to be fired after 1 year being the Dolphins head coach?
Because he lost 6 straight games.
They figured him out in 6 weeks, and now he can't win a football game.
Yeah.
Year 1. This is now we're getting to real crazy. How long is that contract that he signed?
I don't know. Probably a 3-year deal.
I have no idea what his deal is.
I think one more year. We've had all these conversations for coaches before, especially as Jets fans, after one season. If the Dolphins fire a head coach after 1 year, I don't want to hear any conversation about a Jets being
a 4-year.
You got a 4-year?
Yeah.
If he gets fired after 1 year, I do not want to hear anyone talk about the New York Jets being a dumpster franchise at all, okay? Because if they fire a coach after 1 year, not giving him the chance to grow, give me a break.
Yeah, maybe they want Sean Payton, bro.
Sean Payton, Tom Brady, get the team together.
Get the gang all together.
What's your score?
Hold on, before we keep going along, what do we all think about LaFleur's comments on Wilson probably benefiting sitting his rookie season?
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. We shouldn't have drafted him. Let's start there. Want to go back even farther, Mike LaFleur? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah,
we shouldn't have drafted him. Did you say we should not have drafted him?
Of course not.
Yeah, of course not.
Thank God.
Yeah, we shouldn't have drafted. Like, how far do you want to go back? How much hindsight do you want to pour into this? Like, yeah, he should have sat behind a veteran.
Get this kid off my team.
Yeah, he should have sat behind a veteran. What veteran he's referring to, I have no idea because I don't know what veteran.
That's a better question.
I don't know what veteran we had
behind Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I don't know what he's referring to there. But yeah, he should have sat behind a veteran. He should have played better. We shouldn't have drafted him. We should stop drafting people out of small schools and small conferences. We should stop drafting quarterbacks in the first round. I mean, what more do you want to do?
Whoa. Listen, I'm with you. You know how I feel about Ohio State quarterbacks, but honestly, if we're at 10 and CJ Stroud is there, I'm thinking about it.
Ohio State?
Yeah, I know. CJ Stroud.
Nope.
What else are we going to do?
The tides have turned.
We're drafting a good player.
If he makes it to 10 and we're sitting there at 10 and we can't trade for Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson, I'm drafting CJ Stroud. What else am I going to do?
So then let me ask you this question then. So if you draft him,
yeah,
who's your starting quarterback for next season? Because you can. I think if you're the
just have a bunch of nonsense. You could have a bunch. You could have Zach Wilson. You could have CJ Stroud, and you could sign Mike White, and you'll have like
who's your starting quarterback for that season?
You just have them all three of them fight each other out to the death in practice.
Good grief.
That'd be disgusting. If that was the case, I would want to start Mike White, Zach Wilson back up, and CJ just not active. But even then, that's just so gross. There's so much. Your young quarterback and CJ Stroud just learning terrible things from Zach Wilson and Mike White. No way.
If you're drafting CJ Stroud and you just watch Zach, now granted, CJ Stroud went to Ohio State, Big Ten. They run pro style offenses.
Not really, but he actually throws. For the first time ever for Ohio State, this quarterback, his main concern was he can't run. which is never the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is all they do is run and they can't throw. And he can throw. And in that last game versus a very good defense, he showed that he could run, which is really good. He also had the best wide receiver in, I would say, arguably college football history, in Marvin Harrison Jr. So, I mean, he's putting up insane numbers as a sophomore. So maybe that's something to do with it, as usual.
You know, like you're saying for Ohio State that all they do is run.
The quarterbacks usually.
I feel like that
run.
changed once Urban Meyer left.
Fields ran a ton.
Yeah,
he ran a ton, but I like if you
Fields still running.
shout out to JT. Shout out to JT who runs the QB school YouTube channel, which is very, very well done, breaking down film of all college quarterbacks, even NFL quarterbacks. He talked about how Fields is able to throw the ball. Talked about him running a pro style offense. So I think when I say Ohio State runs like a pro style offense, I'm saying it's the closest thing. I think it's like the closest thing that you got for like someone who's going to be NFL ready day one.
I agree.
Unlike BYU, which is like, look, Zach Wilson didn't even throw an out route for what we saw in BYU.
It's bad.
You know what I mean? Like, and if he did, it was like very few and far between of all these like go routes, flags, posts. Man's just throwing bombs. Ridiculous, man. I'm still angry about that. John and I were like, keep Sam Darnold. Don't do this.
Man, I miss
Then we had to drink the Kool-Aid.
I miss Sam so much. That's whatever. He's a free agent. Bring him in there. 4-way.
So, but all I'm asking is like if you do that, if you bring in CJ, and then you got to get some sort of veteran to let Mike White go, because we don't need the whole. I think if you're this coaching staff, there's no way you can be like, well, you know, we probably should have sat him too because he's not ready as a rookie.
Tannehill is available. You can take Tannehill in there. He fits.
Oh.
But then my question is this: is like if you're bringing in Tannehill, why would you spend a 10th overall pick on a quarterback?
Because that means you're still having the chance to develop him.
But I don't want to develop. I want to win. I want to win now. We have a team that can win.
You could still win now. You could still win now and still have that because if you believe in the talent, be there. You can still.
Tannehill's top 10 according to you just last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got Tannehill. Let's ride with Tannehill. I'd rather just draft an offensive lineman that can start day one and block for Tannehill than draft a quarterback that's just going to sit on our bench for a year. Let's go. If we're top 10, give me any offensive player on the Georgia offensive line. Give me any offensive player on the TCU line. Give me any offensive player on Ohio State's offensive line. Defensive lines too for Georgia and Ohio State. Those guys were maniacs in the semifinal.
Why don't you take a linebacker then?
Yeah, if we need a good linebacker that can play.
A good linebacker
that can start. Like there's not a ton of linebackers that can like start week one. I mean, I think there was 2 this year in the draft, and again, top 10 linebackers. I don't know if there's really such a thing as a top 10 linebacker. Besides, we had 1 this year in Devin Lloyd. I don't know if those come around every draft. So, it's just who's available. But to me, it's just give me someone to either go after the quarterback or protect the quarterback. Sign a veteran. Don't get CJ Stroud. I don't care about developing for 3 years down the line. I'm trying to win right now. We have a good team. Robert Saleh's on the hot seat. Michael Flores on the hot seat. Joe Douglas is on the hot seat. Everyone's on the hot seat. We have to win next season. So. And again, if we beat Miami, we split against division. We go 2-0 against a divisional opponent. We knock them out of the playoffs. We end the season on a right foot. And we're moving in the right direction. We got 8 wins on the season. We're an 8-8, 8-9 team, whatever it is now with 18 weeks or whatever it is. And we're moving in the right direction. Again, if you look back at our preseason stuff, yes, we missed the playoffs, but we figured out who Zach Wilson is. We improved on the season. We got some divisional wins.
Not that guy.
We played meaningful games. Yeah, we played meaningful games in December. Next season, I can already tell you my first goal for next season, win meaningful games in December, because we couldn't do that this year. So this year we played.
Yeah, just say playoffs, Greg. That's all you want. You want the playoffs next year.
That's this year we played meaningful games in December. I want to win meaningful games in December.
Just say it with your chest, Greg. You want the playoffs next season.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's the logical next step. But we can't do that with CJ Stroud.
8 seed. We're winning this game.
I love it.
22-17.
We didn't really talk about the defense. I like 22-17. We didn't talk about the defense at all, John. Is there anything to game plan for here against Skylar Thompson, or is it just lock it down, shut it down? Our defense did not show up last week. They're going to come out to play this week and lock this Miami team down.
I mean, Armstead's out, so they're going to blitz him. Watch everything you did last week and do the exact opposite.
I like
Tackle, stay with your guys, don't look like bums.
Try to bounce Tyreek Hill's helmet off the ground if we can again, like we did in week 4 or 5, whatever that was.
Don't do 25-yard punts. Catch the ball when it's punted to you. That's about it.
Boom.
Hey, you know what happens after a bad week?
For Quincy, he makes a tackle.
Quincy comes back and looks like a all-pro linebacker.
I mean, this is the perfect game for him. It's a contract year for him. Everyone's gonna remember the amazing last game he had versus Miami.
You know, this is like typical Jets territory, right? Where it's either like, oh, you got to play for the coach so that you got some heart in you. So I expect him to win too. I expect it to be a ugly game. I expect 20 to 14. That's what I got going.
What do you got, Greg?
I mean, Alex kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit. I like 19-13. I think I'm a point lower on both sides. But I think Alex and I can't be more on the same page as he did. I was like, all right, yeah, touchdown for the Jets, 2 touchdowns, a couple field goals for both teams. Give me 19-13. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a field goal fest. Greg, the leg has been good for us this season. Brandon Mann, on the other hand, not so much. So I think it's going to be a lot of field goals. I think it's going to be kind of cards close to your chest, not anything too crazy with these quarterbacks.
How close can the chest can it be? It's McDaniels versus Robert Saleh and Michael Floor.
That's what I'm saying. They kind of know each other. They've been around the block a little bit. You're on your defense a little bit. Your hands up. Your cards are up. You're not laying it all out there. Off the bat.
No hiding that. They all know their tall tale signs.
No, they've been cooking up stuff. Don't you worry. Robert Saleh's been cooking up motivational speeches and defensive tactics. Mike McDaniel comes up
last week's performance.
Yeah. Mike McDaniel comes up with a new offensive play every hour. It seems like he brags about. So.
Oh man. Well,
fire up that Torrey Taylor punter jersey, baby.
Well, by the way, the Jets have to win now because Greg chose them to win. So. Because Greg was right the last 2 games.
Listen,
sadly.
Unfortunately, yeah.
If there's an 8 seed, we better win. If there's no 8 seed, we better freaking lose. We better lose. And
if draft positioning, baby.
If Tennessee wins on Saturday night, we better lose.
Top 10 pick would be nice.
Insane. That would be insane. 10th pick? Dude. Aaron Rodgers,
with
where you
7
at?
wins?
I would nonstop. I would call Matt LaFleur every Monday. It's gonna be the hell call for you now with Salah. It's gonna be a hell call. Be like, bro, like that first pick. Oh, who do you like this draft? Oh, you give him the 10th pick.
Oh man. Well, on that note, thank you all for tuning in for another Jets episode of the Knicks Jets Etc. podcast. You all know what to do. Please make sure to subscribe. We're on all audio listening platforms. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it. We are there. If you listen to us on Apple or Spotify, please make sure to give us that 5-star rating. And if you listen to us on Apple, please make sure to leave a review or comment. We're also partnered with Minute Media and Fanside, so you can find this podcast on the Jet Press and the Daily Knicks. We also got that YouTube page, Knicks, Jets, ETC, Peer, no one writes out, etc. That shit's wild. Find the page, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you know when a new episode drops. And when you watch a video, hit the like button, leave a comment, add to the conversation. Do you think the Jets are going to win this week? Let us know in the comments. Do you think this front office, this coaching staff's on the hot seat? Do you think we should take CJ at 10 if he's there? Or do you think we should go with Greg's idea and take a offensive or defensive lineman? Who do you think will be next season's quarterback?
Look how good I'm feeling right now, Ricey. Feeling good. Give me that 8 seed. Taking CJ Stroud, taking 8 seed. Vibes are good. It's like 60 degrees out.
Greg is disgusted. Greg is just disgusted with you right now.
No quarterback, please, God.
While you're also over at the YouTube page, we got another podcast, Winning Picks Weekly. John, video producer Greg, and our guy and coach Chip Murphy. These guys go through every single sport possible. NFL, these guys got you covered right now.
Over, Alex. So we only have playoffs left. It hurts. We did our last slate, week 18 of the season. But We might have eight seeds in both conferences, so we might have a full slate, honestly, for next week. So we'll see.
Make sure to go check them out. If you love sports, gambling, and putting money down on the line, these guys got you covered. They're also partnered with Minute Media. And last and certainly not least, please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. We are there. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for another Jets episode of the Knicks Jets, etc. podcast. We out.
JTS, Jets.